John here for Ball Miniatures Great and Small, and today I've got Jake and Jacob, and we're going to be introducing our Age of Sigmar Slowgrow. So this is just a really quick video to kind of let you know what we're going to be doing. I think we're going to be starting with 750 points on the channel. Now this Slowgrow is kind of in combination with the Slowgrow we're doing at one of our local gaming stores. Funkatronic Rex, very cool store in, what city is it in? Phoenix itself. Funkatronic Rex. So we're doing a Slowgrow there with these armies, but we also want to do a Slowgrow here on the channel. For the armies that we're playing, I am going to be doing Stormcast Eternals. Jake, what are you going to be doing?
Idoneth Deepkin.
And Jacob, how about you?
Nighthaunt.
Nighthaunt. And then obviously we've got some other guys here that weren't available when we filmed this. Mark is playing the
Loonkin.
Loon?
Right, Loonkin?
Loonkin Grots or something?
Yeah.
Is it?
Moonkin.
The Moongrots.
The Moon, yeah.
The new army.
The new Goblin guys. And Sam is also doing Stormcast.
Yes.
And Sean, who you know from the channel, he plays mostly Flames of War, is doing Seraphon? The Lizard Men.
Yes, dinosaurs.
Yeah.
We don't know the other armies. We just know our armies.
We know our armies. So, and Age of Sigmar is new for us. Obviously, you've never seen any content. We're brand new to it. It took me a while to get on board. I think you were the one who talked me into doing this. After we did our 40K Slowgrow, Jake's like, "What's next? Let's do Age of Sigmar." I'm like, "Okay, let's do Age of Sigmar." So we decided at the beginning of the year, like around New Year's, that's when we'd start our Slowgrow. Here we are in May. And we're just starting our first games. So it's taken a while, but the content will come. So let's talk a little bit about Age of Sigmar. So it's another Games Workshop game, pretty similar to 40K, but with some big differences.
Yep.
It's also the successor to the original Warhammer game.
Yep.
So did you ever play Warhammer?
Yeah, I played Warhammer Fantasy Battle in high school. I had an Empire. I can't remember the guys who had a bunch of gunpowder. I had a Warhammer army. I had a Skaven skirmish army. I had a Vampire Count undead army, and I think that was a Chaos Warrior army. Yeah, I played more than
a lot of armies.
Wow.
And Jake and I never played
Nope.
fantasy, but we do play 40K. So
Just a little bit.
yeah, we play a little bit. So, what, Jacob? Since this was originally your idea, what made you think you wanted to play Age of Sigmar? What about it was attractive to you?
I really like. So, first off, the models. I think every new release they've done, even if I don't like the model, the aesthetic, the style, like the mechanics of it, they've been amazing and they're all beautiful. And I think it's a little bit of a change of pace. 40K, you have the shooting, and this is a little bit more focused in the close combat. I'm kind of a close combat player in general, and I like. I wanted to see the mechanics if they were able to take kind of that formation and block movement in the original Fantasy Battle, where they had kind of the meeting engagement type stuff, and if they were able to kind of transfer that to this when people don't move in regiments in Age of Sigmar. So a couple of things like that. I really wanted to explore it.
So, how about you, Jake? What are you looking forward to the most with the Age of Sigmar?
Similar to Jake, I really like the assault phase, and in 40K there isn't enough of it. But in Age of Sigmar, it feels like with our armies at least 90%, it's all assault phase based, which is very cool. I just like that better.
See, and I'm the opposite of both of you guys, and that's maybe why it was so hard to bring on board. Was I like shooting? I like shooting. So I was originally looking at the Caradron Overlords, but their army just kind of stinks, and they don't have a lot of choices.
Yeah, they're pretty sad.
But you can make Stormcast shooty or close combat, so I decided to go with them. Plus, they're the most Space Marine-like unit.
The Boy Scouts of every universe.
So, there we go. So I've got my Ultramarines, I got my Stormcast.
You're
I'm
Americans.
good. Yeah. So, Jacob, you picked Nighthaunts. What about the Nighthaunts attracted you to them as your first Sigmar army?
So I wanted to do Age of Sigmar even before Nighthaunt came out, but I just was really drawn to the sculpts of it. It just almost the entire range. I think everything looks so beautiful and dynamic, and even though I have a relatively simple paint job, I think they just look so cool on the table. And then I was a Vampire Counts probably the majority of the time when I played Warhammer Fantasy, so Undead or something that I kind of slip right into.
Yeah, I love all the Nighthaunt models. They have such a sense of movement in the way they're sculpted. They look really cool. And Jake, what attracted Deepkin
I've always really liked elves, and then for 40k, I'm starting up my Ulthway army right now. But I've always really liked the Dark Eldar aesthetic that Jake already has been collecting. So I definitely wanted to do elves when we jumped into Age of Sigmar. But the only other option besides the Deepkin are like the older, I forget.
High elves or whatever they are, I don't know.
They don't look good. And when the Deepkin came out, I was like, I wasn't quite sure yet because I don't like some of the models. But now that I've like built and painted them, I like them a lot more now. And they're just so weird but awesome. Like we're so different. Like we went from playing a World War II game to playing 40k, and now we're fantasy. So if you're gonna go crazy with something, like I picked a pretty just different army than the norm, I feel like.
Well, it's pretty interesting with these armies too. You know, with fantasy, it was a very Tolkien-esque kind of. You had your orcs, your elves, your humans, and then obviously Games Workshop wanted to get away from that and kind of be able to put their intellectual property on here. So you have all these, you know, kind of archetypes, but with a twist. You've got elves, but they're undersea elves, so they're riding sharks. Yeah. That's not in Tolkien.
Yeah.
At least I don't know. Maybe it is. You can correct me down in the comments.
In the Silmarillion, page 3. So
yeah.
You know, you have a cool ghost army.
Yeah.
So that's really neat. And I think the lore, originally when Sigmar first came out, I think there was a lot of confusion about the lore. I don't think they explained it well. And it really just wasn't very attractive. I think they really kind of botched up the initial release. But with Age of Sigmar, the second edition, the one that we're playing, and the Battle Tomes, the history is actually pretty interesting. And I like the Stormcast Eternals, and besides the fact that they're like Space Marines, is they kind of have a tragic backstory. Even though they're like reincarnated whenever they die, they go up to the heavens and get reforged, and they come back down. Every time they do that, they lose some of their humanity, which I thought was kind of a cool aspect of it. So they're not just like Space Marine copies. The deeper you get into it.
I even like, and I really like the, you know, with the lore now with the second edition, because we talked about after we kind of get the basics down, doing some of the wacky, you know, chase the endless spell games. Like there's some game types that I think I'm really excited about because, you know, what realm you're in really does affect the table, and so I think that'll be fun to try.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of fun stuff to have with Age of Sigmar, and being able to let go of some of the prejudices of being mad that Games Workshop killed fantasy. I don't know, were you mad when they blew up the old world?
I wasn't playing then, but I was kind of along for the ride. I was not happy how some characters are treated, but I'm all for rebirth and refresh. So.
I mean, like the Tomb Kings?
I mean, that was sad. You know, what is it, Cetra, I can't remember, who's just in the desert, like a skull, just watching the world end.
Bretonnians?
Yeah.
That's Mark. I don't really care about them.
But I guess the Bretonnians are back. They're just in the Flesh Eater Court. That's them. All right, well, there you go, guys. We'll have some pictures of our armies up here and kind of show you a little bit of what we're doing. But we just wanted to make a short video to let you guys know about the Slowgrow for Age of Sigmar, what you can expect here in the future. Hopefully, I think we're going to build up to 2,000 points and have some good epic battles towards the end of the Slowgrow. As always, we appreciate you watching. Please give us a like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of Age of Sigmar, what you think of our army choices. Do you like the game? What do you think of it? And as always, thanks for watching and keep on wargaming.